people. Hello, Alex, Sandra, Sophia. Hi, everyone. So obviously, you guys know I'm Jess. If this is new, we're going to be answering your skincare questions. This is my grandmother, who is she's an esthetician, but I'll let you explain yourself or introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bernadette Prudhomme, Jessica's grandmother. I've been an esthetician for 22 years. I have a skincare business in Los Angeles, California. Well, actually, it's in El Segundo, California. And Jessica said that you all had some questions, and I agreed to help her answer them.
Exactly. So just to make sure, can everyone hear us well? Just to make sure, this is our first time, or my first time actually, using Zoom. So I just want to make sure we're all good, sound is good, and we're going to get into all of the questions, just so I know. Actually, well, let me see if I can pull up the question. Lena, let me know if everything's good before we start. Someone tell me, can you hear us? Can you hear us well? Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I already asked for the questions on like my previous video. So we're gonna go into the questions that we have initially, and then after we're gonna do like a Q&A for anything that we don't touch. So thank you, Ty, for letting me know. Tavia, thank you. All right, so the first question that I have is, how can you learn your skin type and how to really take care of your skin? Is there such thing as skin type, or how do you learn about it?
There are three common. There's dry, there's oily and combination. And dry, I mean, kind of speaks for itself. The way you can tell after you wash your skin, like the next hour or so, how does your skin feel? The most common skin type is combination, where you're oily in the T-zone, your forehead, your nose, and your chin, and then a little dry on the cheeks. And then, of course, oily and then dry. And I would say that if you really want to know your skin type, my advice would be to get a consultation from an esthetician. And then that way they can also recommend products for you.
Okay. Because for the longest, I thought I had oily skin because I know my T-zone gets really oily. But I didn't know that combination means, like, because I have dry patches around, but just right here. And I wash my hands a lot, so my skin just gets dry overall. So that is crazy. I feel like combination skin is tricky though, because it's like you're oily some places and dry some places.
It is. And then a lot of people, get it confused and don't really know. I mean, that's where a good esthetician, a skincare therapist comes in hand. They can analyze your skin, do a consultation with you, and find out your concerns and then work from there with you.
Okay, cool. Okay, Western Goddess says grandmama is in the house. By the way, she hates when I call her grandmother or grandma. I don't even call her that because it's like, obviously, to look at her, she doesn't even look like a grandma. But okay. All right, next question is cystic acne the pimples that are swollen? What is cystic? Or is that how you say it?
Usually cystic acne are the pimples you get that are underneath the skin. They usually don't come to a head. They're inflamed and they're very painful.
Oh, okay. And how do you get that?
Basically, acne comes from an abundance of dead skin cells and oils. And what happens, they clog your pores. And there's no way for it to come out. So it gets inflamed, it gets aggravated, and it like wants out. So it's just angry. So you really want to definitely exfoliate your skin, use something to get the dead skin cells sloughing off, which is something that our skin does naturally. But as we age and we're exposed to the environment and different elements, that process slows down. And so when that happens, our skin can't function properly. So our oils don't come out on our surface the way they should. And then our dead skin cells and oils just form a plug that clogs the pore.
Oh, wow. Why am it's like you've been my grandma for my whole life and I never even knew that. Like, I suck at
taking me for granted. No.
I know, but I don't know. I just never thought to, but I don't exfoliate. So that's probably like, and I feel like that helps with smooth skin, but we'll get into that. Okay, next.
Okay.
It says, Okay, well, we'll see. Well, I just got a question. Are scrubs bad for skin if you want to exfoliate? That's what Cartera, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Sorry. But that's what
Scrubs are not bad. However, it depends on the ingredient in the scrub. Back in the day, they used to use like walnut shells, so they
mm,
had little microscopic tears. They had jagged edges, so they could make microscopic tears in the skin. But now most places are using um, plastic beads.
oh,
Now we've gotten away from that because of the environment. The plastic beads didn't
mhm,
dissolve, and so they would end up in the ocean and in drainage and things like that. Now a lot of companies are using jojoba beads, and
oh,
jojoba beads they kind of dissolve as you manipulate them, so
mhm,
they're more gentle on the skin, and then also they're not bad for the environment as well. So
oh,
scrubs are not bad. They kind of surface polish the skin. I prefer a leave-on product for exfoliation, like something with a glycolic acid, lactic acid, salicylic acid, mandelic acid, because these are products that you apply, you leave them on, and they actually do the work for you. Because
oh,
unfortunately, what happens with a lot of people when they use a scrub, they scrub their face like they're scrubbing their pots, and
mm,
they kind of over scrub and they're too aggressive with the skin.
mhm, mhm. And then it irritates the skin or breaks it.
Right, exactly. Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, Nicole says, "Hey, Nicole Smith. Hi. My skin has been so textured during this time. It's somewhat sensitive, and I drink tons of water. Is this from lack of vitamin D or something else? Her skin being textured during this time, being in the house."
Um, I don't know what the weather is like where you are, Nicole, but I know for a lot of us, we're having our heaters on. We're in the house more. We're actually not doing our skincare regimen as we used to do. And a lot of skincare, the basic is exfoliation. Because if you're not getting those dead skin cells off, you have a buildup of dead skin cells. Your texture is going to be rough. Your skin is not going to be able to absorb moisture the way it should. So what happens? A lot of people they're like, "Oh, this moisturizer isn't working," so they go out and buy a richer, thicker moisturizer. When in essence, if you just constantly exfoliate, then your skin can function properly the way that it should.
Oh, wow. Okay. See, that exfoliating, I didn't know that that was important. I thought that was like optional, but that
No,
makes sense.
it's very important. Like I said, our skin, believe it or not, our skin is a living organ. It's our largest organ
Uh-huh.
because our whole body is
It's made of,
skin. And
yeah.
actually, what we see on the surface is dead skin because what happens, our skin cells migrate to the surface and kind of divide, and the new plump ones they push the dead ones up, up, and then if you're not getting those dead ones off, they're just sitting there. And
Oh,
then your oils, like I said, can't come out. The oils are supposed to come out and perform a protective layer on your skin, from the environment and different elements. But if you just have that dead skin sitting there, then moisturizer is not going to work. Things are not going to function properly.
wow. So my body must be the most dead because I never exfoliate. I know girls who do, and I never was like, and then also, I mean, this is another question, but even as far as, for me, I've struggled with, spots, like dark spots, on my skin. I mean, even I still have it on my face, but I used to struggle with that. So would you say exfoliating helps with removing dark spots, or what is your recommendation?
It'll help lift some of the pigmentation. I mean, it's going to help lift the dead skin cells all over, but it will help lift some of that darker pigmentation. I mean, and just the way you are excited and like, wow, I didn't know all this. This is the way I felt when I started learning about skin because we take skin for granted. And
Mm-hmm.
then when I started learning about it, I was just in awe and just amazed, and which is what led me to become an esthetician
Oh, okay. You've been an esthetician for how long?
for 23 years.
Wow, that is
And
crazy.
in my 30s, I had skin problems. I had discoloration. I was breaking out. And I mean, I just started learning about skin. I started working for a skincare company in their customer service department, Murad. I don't know if anybody's familiar with them, but once I started learning about skin, I mean, I just fell in love with it. And I just knew this is what I wanted to do.
Wow, so you didn't have skin problems until you were in your 30s?
Right. As a teenager, I didn't have any. none that I cared about or that were really, bothering me. But when I got into my 30s, once you get grown and you got to pay your bills and, you're working and all that stress
Yeah.
and just life in general, And then, of course, I wasn't taking care of my skin the way I should, and so, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So we're gonna answer. Oh wow. Thank you, Tyla. She says we are so pretty.
Oh, well, thank you.
Any recommended natural skin products that has like natural ingredients, I guess, or something?
I mean, some people think natural is always better,
Mhm.
but it isn't because when you're doing natural things, you can't control them. Things that are made in the lab, they've been tried and tested and, worked out and everything. But things that are natural, I mean, they're going to expire quicker.
Mhm.
And, and actually, I can't really say that anything natural that I've used or that I'm aware of has worked really well or that I recommend.
Mhm.
So, and I
Compare.
did have a client. I did have a client. She was just gung ho on using all natural products, and she was telling me that her sister, just always used things over the counter and chemicals. So then, after her second time coming to me, she realized, she said that, well, obviously what I'm doing natural is not working too well. So then we got her some other products, that end up working better for her.
Mhm.
So it's just a matter of preference, and then it depends on what works for you.
Mhm. Mhm. Your skin and everything. Because also,
Right.
can your skin, how bad your breakouts or whatever, where does that come from? Is that like genetic wise, or is that from how do you determine where your skin type?
A lot of it is genetic, like your pore size is genetically determined. You
Uh-huh.
can't shrink your pores because there's no muscle in the pore, so it's not like you can shrink your pore.
Uh-huh.
But what does happen if you're not keeping your pores clean and you have like blackheads and clogged pores, over time it's going to stretch your pore. So it's going to make your pore look larger.
Okay. Okay.
So a lot of it is genetically determined, a lot of it is from the environment, and then some of it's just basically individual.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Said Trillion says, how do you feel about microdermabrasion and derma planning? I don't
I
know.
love microdermabrasion, uh,
What is that?
dermaplaning.
What is that actually for an amateur like me? Because I have no idea what that
So microdermabrasion, there's two different forms of it. It's a form of exfoliation. So you have your chemical exfoliation with some of the ingredients that I mentioned, the alpha hydroxy acids. You have your scrubs because they have the little granules in it. And then you have your microdermabrasion, which is a machine. Actually, I can show it to you now.
cool, guys. Oh
So there's different forms. There's one that the machine has crystals. A lot of them use aluminum crystals that shoot out of the machine
my.
and they exfoliate the skin as you're taking the machine across your face. Little crystals are shooting out of the skin, and then as they're coming out, you have a vacuum that's sucking them back in and putting them to another container in the skin in the
Oh,
machine. So I personally prefer this one. It's called a diamond tip microdermabrasion. Can you all see this?
yeah.
So these are diamond chips. And so basically I'm going to turn the machine on. It's going to be kind of loud. So then I just take this across the skin.
Wait, pull it up a little bit. We can't see. Yeah, right there. Oh. And what
And
is
so
it?
as,
Oh.
as I'm doing this, it's removing the dead skin cells.
Oh, interesting. Wow. And how often do you do that? Or would you do that?
You know what? You can actually do it once a week, every 10 days. Actually, I liken the one with the crystals to sandblasting your face because you have this crystal shooting out,
Mhm.
like if you're sandblasting a building or something. And this one I call sandpaper in the face
Oh,
because it's like sandpaper, and I have different grits. I have different tips that I can use. Some are coarser than others, so it just depends on the person's skin. And far as how often you should get treatments, basically, of course, the sooner you get them to each other, the better your results are going to be.
And what also does that help? That just helps remove your.
That's a form of exfoliation.
Okay, that's another form. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
I do have a, let me see if I can pull this up. When I do my microdermabrasion, I put a brown filter in the machine. That way it collects the dead skin cells. And then that way the client can see them afterwards.
You show them to your
Of
client?
course.
Oh, that's
I love sharing. I mean, they need to see what I see, you know?
Oh, yeah, true.
Let me
That's
see.
crazy.
Pull this up.
Okay, while she's pulling it up, I'm gonna do some shout outs really quick. I see you guys. Charmaine, Sydney.
Okay,
Hello,
so here it is.
hello. You got it?
So what can I do?
Oh, wait. So what is it?
I don't know how good you all
try
can
to hold it to the screen at the top part.
right here.
Oh, okay, we see. Ew.
So the before is just the round disc. That's before I did the microdermabrasion. I put that in the machine. And the after I finish it, all that darkness that you see is the person's dead skin cells that came out in that one treatment.
Oh my! And did they? That's so weird. Now I feel like my whole body is just because I never exfoliate, so I just feel like I will have so much dead skin all over the place. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, oh, Steph Beauty Chemist says, speak the truth. I'm a cosmetic chemist and we work so hard to find effective ingredients to put in our products and they're not all natural. So she's just confirming what you're saying.
Well, thank you.
Okay, let's do so do you have any more tips on what to use on how to get rid of dark spots from pimples and what is the best products to remove acne? Paige asks.
Again, dark spots, you want to exfoliate. That's going to lift some of the pigment. And then eventually you're going to need to use a product that has a skin lightener in it. And the only FDA approved skin lightener is hydroquinone. Over the counter, you can get it in 2%. And you would just spot treat with that. And, you know, it takes a while. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. And then one of the most important things that you need to do is wear a sunblock. Because if you're not wearing a sunblock and you're going out, the sunlight is going to stimulate the pigmentation and make it darker. So you definitely want to wear sunblock every day.
Okay, that's very important because I know for me, I never did any of that actually. So no wonder I still have, I mean, my dark spots never went away or they took forever too. I mean, I still have them here and there. But okay, so obviously I'm sure you have like products and stuff. Like, do you have exfoliator, all these things?
I do. I have some products within my own line, Aesthetics by Bernadette. And then I also have a couple of other lines that I use. I actually handpick products. I don't recommend anything for my clients that I haven't tried and used on myself.
Okay.
So I do have products available if anyone's interested in any. We can work on that.
Okay.
And I don't believe in using a lot of products. I just think the less we have, the more we'll use it. Because I'm sure as women, we all have a lot of products in our cabinet and we try it and then we don't use it. And then it's like, okay, look at what they sold me. You know, because of course we want instant gratification, but it takes time. And in education, you know, you learn that it takes time and you have to stick with it. So I just don't believe in using a lot of products. Basically, it's just finding something that's going to work for your concern. And basically what I do when new clients come to me, everybody pretty much kind of has a cleanser and a moisture, excuse me, a moisturizer. So I'll recommend my first product is a treatment product, something that's going to address your concerns.
Wow. Okay. So I'm going to actually need to see again, you're my grandmother. I should have these things. So I'll probably have to,
yes,
you can send me some products so I can start using those. Obviously, I mean, those are like the best. I'll use like the basic little products, but we can.
I believe in keeping it simple.
Yes, I like that because that's very convenient. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, you know, a lot of people always they're trying to push all these products on you. I mean, I've seen a lot of skincare, and that draws me away from it because it's like you have 5 different things you got to put on, and it's just like, what if you don't need that? And I feel like people are just pushing it out for people, you know. So that's good to know. Yeah, let's see. What to do when the exfoliator clears your skin and leaves the dark spots? Is that possible? Amanda says.
Yeah, it is possible because once you exfoliate, you're getting rid of the dead skin cells. So those areas that are darker, it's going to lift some of the pigment, but it's still going to be darker.
Oh,
So at that point, you would start using something with hydroquinone or a skin lightener.
okay.
And I have to say that it's one of the hardest things to treat because if you have a lot of dark spots, you're going to have to spot treat each one individually. You can if you put it over your whole face, the product isn't going to say, "Oh, okay, even though you put me on this area, don't lighten this area, just lighten the dark area." So it gets to a point to where you will have to use something to spot treat the individual dark spots. And what ends up happening, a lot of people, you don't get it exactly on the spot, you get it on the surrounding area, and you have a halo, so it lightens that area too. So it's tricky, and it's just you just have to learn how to use it.
Okay. And
Yeah.
that sounds like something you definitely need to go to someone like a
Yeah.
specialist like you for, because you shouldn't be trying to do that. I mean, that seems tricky to do by yourself. Let's see. How do you get rid of large pores around your nose? Mick Chizzy Breezy asks.
Again, pore size is genetically determined. You can't shrink your pores, but 9 times out of 10, your pores are going to be clogged if they're enlarged. So you would need to go to an esthetician, get a facial. They can do extractions to clean out your pores, and in that essence, they will kind of go somewhat to their original size. And some people just have large pores. But 9 times out of 10, especially in the nose area, because that's one of the oiliest areas, you are going to have some blackheads and some clogged pores in that area.
Okay. And even so I noticed on my nose, I don't know if you could tell, but I have like this bump right here because I used to get a lot of pimples on my nose, and it's been there forever. So what would help? Like just bumpy skin overall. You said exfoliating, right?
Yeah, exfoliating and facial extractions.
Facial.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's a process and it's a system. It's a partnership. So you find an esthetician who you can work with, and you come see them. Most of my clients, I do have some clients that come see me. We're in the repair stage, and I've had some clients come see me once a week.
Oh, okay.
And we're repairing their skin. The goal is to get them where they're coming in once a month for maintenance. So we may start off once a week, then I'll put them on home care, and then we may go to every 2 weeks, then we'll go to every 3 weeks, and then we'll go to maintenance. And I'll tell my clients, if you have to not come see me once in order for you to get your home care products, let's do that. Because even if you see me once a month, what you do those other 29, 30 days at home makes a big difference.
Okay. Wow. I'm kind of not mad.
You want to become an esthetician now?
No, no, that's a lot of work. No, but I wish I lived over there in California now, because it's like now I feel like I need to make sure I'm doing that. As when as I get older, I mean, I care about my skin, and I mean, I do have, and that's another question for me personally, because I know that I am a natural person. Like I am that person that thinks, oh, natural, blah, blah, blah. And I know over the years, obviously changing my diet has helped with my skin, but I still do, like if you were to look closely to my skin, I still have, bumps here and there. I still struggle with dark spots and everything. And I know it's because I probably should exfoliate, and I still, even though my skin is better, I know I could still benefit from going to, get facials every now and then. So that's what I could say. I mean, do you agree that your diet has to do with your face as well? I mean, not to say it's to cure all, but I mean, it's like you working out, if you eat healthy.
Yeah, I mean, your
or is
body,
it also a genetics thing, or just,
I mean, everything kind of works as a system, our body, our skin, so if you eat better, if you work out, if you drink more water, it's all going to show on your skin. So it's definitely a win-win situation. And don't get me wrong, I mean, you know me better than anybody else, Jessica. I love my sweets, my hot tamales. So
Yeah, I
so
know.
I'm not the healthiest eater, and I never will be because I like to indulge. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna eat, but I work out, I drink water,
Mhm.
and basically, I mean, I take care of my skin.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
mean, like I said, in my 30s, I had skin issues. I started going to an esthetician,
Mhm.
and I had no idea that I was going to become an esthetician,
Mhm.
somewhere down the line. But here I am.
Wow, that is so cool. That is interesting to hear that it took you into your 30s too. And I guess obviously stress really does wear on the skin as you get older. And someone also asked, can sleep affect your skin if you're not getting enough sleep?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, like I said, our body works in unison. It's we're one person, we're one machine, so everything affects something else. So you definitely want to get as much sleep. And nowadays, I mean, we don't have any reason not to get sleep with
Yeah,
we're
true.
not working, but
True. True.
but even too much sleep is not good for you. So you have to just really keep a balance, and that's the thing I see with people with oily skin.
Mm-hmm.
They use all these products
Mm-hmm.
that are for oily skin, and they end up drying their skin out, and it actually sends a signal to the skin to produce more oils.
Oh.
So it's all about keeping a balance. I mean, I never put my oily skin clients on everything that's going to strip their oil,
Mm-hmm.
because you do need to keep some oil in your skin, and you need to keep a balance, not just take all the oils away. I mean, just think about a grape that turns into a prune. When you take away all that hydration and moisture, then you have dry skin, so you definitely want to keep a balance with your skin.
Mm. Okay. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Um, let's see. Odelia says, "Does vitamins cause buttons on face?" What is? I don't know what buttons.
Yeah, I'm not understanding the
What
question.
do you mean by buttons? Not sure with that. Let me know, Odelia. Ashley says, "I had a really bad sunburn a few years ago on my face, and my under eyes have been really dark ever since. Any tips on like under
Are
eye
you sure it
darkness?"
was definitely from the sunburn, not genetic?
Well, we'll just say anything with dark under eyes. Do you treat that, or is that? I,
Dark under eyes can be genetic. It can be, hereditary from way down the family line.
Mhm.
Dealing with under the eye area is really tricky because you don't want to put anything directly under the eye area because it can actually irritate the area.
Oh,
Um, Vitamin K has been known to be good for that. But again, my recommendation would be to consultation with an esthetician. Get somebody that can work with you. I mean, I kind of liken skincare to you go to the dentist. Even though you brush your teeth every day, you still go to the dentist for that deep cleansing.
I
And
like that.
back in the day, facials were considered a luxury, only for the rich and famous, and
Yeah.
something that was out of reach that, just us normal people couldn't afford. But,
That's how
you
I
know,
feel too. I thought it was luxury. That's why I never
well,
really did it.
it's actually a necessity. It
Oh,
is really.
that makes sense. So I like how you compared it to, the dentist thing. I mean, we do what we can, but every now and then we go and get our checkups, get, the whatever, the exfoliation
Right.
or the facials that we actually, okay.
Yeah. So it's like same concept. I mean, and you don't have to go to the most expensive place. I mean, you just find somebody that's serious about what they do, and that want to help you, and they have I keep my prices very reasonable because I want my clients to be able to come to me on a regular basis, and not just for Mother's Day or Christmas or some special occasion.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
And you have clients from, I mean, what, all ages, right?
all ages, all sexes, yeah, all ages.
Okay. Okay. Um, Says, "I started using a vitamin and began getting pimples on my face. Is a vitamin a probable cause?"
It could be, and it could not be. I mean, anytime we start something new and we have a breakout or something else happens or something different happens, we're going to attribute to that what we just started doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm not a doctor. I'm not professing to diagnose or treat any medical conditions.
Mm-hmm.
I would say if you think it's the vitamin that caused it, stop taking it and
Mm-hmm.
then see what happens.
Okay. Okay. Beauty by Lexi asks, after washing your face, what is a good product or routine to restore moisture back into your skin? My face is normally dry, but my nose is very oily, which is pretty much how I am. I mean, my T-zone is really oily, and you know.
Well, and believe it or not, I mean, if it's extreme, one area is extremely dry, one area is extremely oily, you may need two products.
Mm.
And then what a lot of people don't do, like they don't change their products seasonally. You know, during the summer,
You're
you
supposed
don't
to
want to
change
use.
product seasonally? I didn't know that.
In the winter, your skin needs more moisture.
Oh, that makes sense.
So you make a different moisturizer than you would use in the summer. So, and then a hydrator. I mean, moisture for someone with dry skin, they want to use something that's going to add a little bit of oil to the skin.
Mm-hmm.
Someone with oily skin, they want to use something that's going to hydrate and add water.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's a matter of being educated and again finding a professional who can actually recommend for you based on your concerns and a consultation and a skin analysis.
Okay. So yeah, well, I am already interested in trying your products. I don't even know why I've never tried them, but just because I know, I mean, you could say, so for example, I mean, I know people should go in, but if you have an idea, like you have combination oily skin, you have products that's for that, like people who have normal skin, combination oily, or cleanser. They're specific. Go ahead.
And what I will offer to everyone, whoever's interested, we can actually do a virtual skin consultation.
Okay.
And you can order products if you're in the Los Angeles area. You want to come get a facial. You can do that as well. And if you're willing to buy me a plane ticket, I'll have esthetician will travel. I'm kind of tired of being stuck in the house. So
I know, right? Okay. So, well, I guess we'll like link your website and everything in the description.
yeah, we'll link it. And I'm old school, so I'm not technically savvy as I'm sure a lot of people are. So I'm still trying to work on things to get the virtual consultation up and
We
going.
also have, okay, well then you have an Instagram that you barely use. That
Right. I don't really do any social media. That's just not my generational thing, but I'm trying to get better.
Contact with people, because maybe through Instagram, unless you do usually contact through email or text messages, you could do DM, or I could have them go to your Instagram so they can message you on there instead.
Okay.
How is that?
Yeah, well, we'll figure it out and work it out, and then you can link something and let everybody know. But I want to make sure that I'm up to speed and you know that I know what I'm doing before I really get into it. But yeah, shouldn't be that hard.
Okay. Well, can we at least link your Instagram?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's on it. Is there anything on it?
Yeah, I think you have you have a few pictures on it, but just
I might have some Instagram. I know I have a Facebook page for my business, but pretty much they just sit there and I just have
your Facebook or Instagram.
I don't know.
Okay, well we'll just say it's Aesthetics by Bernadette, right?
Right, AEST. You have the spelling correct?
I know how to spell it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, actually, because esthetician is spelled with an E, but I put an A in front of mine, you know. Try to be a little fancier or something, you know.
Yes, I see. Aesthetics. Actually, I may not know how to spell it.
And you can put the link to my website. They can go on and check on my website, and
I'll put all that. At ASTHE
AES.
Oh, I see. Hold on, guys. We're gonna get into the questions again. I just want to make sure you guys have her information. AESTHET.
AESTHETICS. By BY Bernadette.
Okay.
Aestheticsbybernadette.com is the website.
Okay, so I just linked her, just in case when we get off of this, if you have further questions or you guys want to, order some products or whatever, you have her information. Miss Jama says hi to both of us. Hi, Miss Jama.
Hi.
Are oils better than creams? If so, what oil would you suggest? Oh,
Is this one of you guys calling me right now? No.
who is that? Oh, no.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Are oils better than creams? If so, what oils would you suggest? Or do you use
Are oils better than creams? I mean, one thing may not necessarily be better than the other. It's basically an individual preference. I mean, some oils and even some creams can clog your pores. So you just want to make sure that you're not using something that's going to clog your pores. And then basically, what would you be using the oil for? To moisturize? Or I wouldn't use an oil to moisturize my skin. I would use a cream or a lotion consistency, something to moisturize my skin.
So
I know a lot of people got onto the coconut oil craze and all that, and that can actually clog your pores.
Okay, that makes a
And
lot
then
of sense.
some of the oils and some of the things are called occlusive, and basically what they do is put a barrier on your skin so it doesn't let anything out and won't let anything in. That's not what you want to use on your skin, because again, you do want your natural oils to come out and provide that protective barrier on your skin, and then you want your dead skin cells to come off as well. So you don't want to put anything, say like Vaseline, or even some oils may just be too heavy and it may occlude the skin, and that's not what you want to use.
Wow, it seems like the skin has so many like common things, like the hair, because a lot of things that you're telling me, the scalp, I mean, natural hair overall, like oils, people use a lot of that, but sometimes oils can clog your scalp and everything. So that makes sense, because a lot of people do use oils on their face, and then the coconut oil and that, I guess it just, like you said, depends on, your skin, and you would need to know more. Katara asks, how can you treat hyperpigmentation? What is
Hyperpigmentation.
hyperpigmentation, by the way, for me, because I need clarity.
Okay, hyperpigmentation is an excess of pigmentation, like the dark spots you get when you have a pimple. So then it turns darker. Basically, what the skin is doing, the skin calls itself protecting us, so it dumps pigment in that area. So, and even sometimes if you don't pick it, you're going to get it. That's just what happens with ethnic skin. I mean, our skin reacts that way. Our skin, people think our darker skin is tougher and thicker and all that, but our skin is more reactive. So again, we get a pimple or anything, sometimes it's just going to start dumping pigment as trying to protect our skin, but you have that dark spot there. So that's hyperpigmentation. And then some people might get hypo, where they lose their pigment. So again, exfoliate to start lifting those dead skin cells off, and then eventually use something that's going to lighten the spot.
Okay, and so that is the big thing. This takeaway, if you guys haven't taken away, exfoliating is important. I don't know if you said this, but how often would you recommend to exfoliate?
It all depends on what modality you're using. When I get my new clients on an exfoliating product, I'll do like a cleanser that has the jojoba beads in it, which is very gentle. We'll do that. And then I'll get them on a leave-on product. And the leave-on product, I actually basically tell them to use it every other night for 2 weeks, just to get your skin acclimated to it. You don't want to go in using a new product and just go gung-ho using it every day, twice a day. So basically you want to gradually start using a new product. And I never recommend 2 treatment products at the same time for any of my clients, because if you do have a reaction, then we don't know which one it is. So it's always better to err on the side of caution. And with dark skin, ethnic skin, you need to be progressive as opposed to being aggressive with the skin. You have to be really progressive and just kind of build up to, something stronger, or just getting into it. Especially if someone's never used skincare products before, I'm not going to send you home with 5 products and go, here, use this every day, twice a day. I mean, I worked at a day spa, and basically they wanted us to send each client home with 3 products every visit. But if I have a client come to see me once a month, she's not going to need a product every time she comes in. So I was always getting counseled on my retail, because that's just not how I operate. So
that makes a lot of sense. Okay, thank you. So you said, from what, exfoliate every other day, or?
You can start off every other day and then gradually increase to every day. It all depends on what the skin can tolerate. You
Okay.
basically have to pay attention to your skin. Everybody's skin is different. So what I'm able to do every day, especially since I've been using these products for a long time, you may not be able to do that
Mhm.
because you're just starting to use them.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Um, Sydney says, I have a lot of really small bumps on my forehead that are flesh color. What are these bumps called? How do you treat them?
well, Sydney, without seeing your skin, I can't really say what they're called. A lot of times when I see that on the forehead, it can be caused by hair care products because basically when we apply our hair care products, most of us, put it in our hand and we forehead. We start here,
Mm,
and and so it concentrates right here, the majority of it. So
mhm,
I tell my clients, don't start here, start in the back, on the sides or something, and
mhm.
see what works.
Oh, okay. Okay. Um, okay. There are some of her I think you missed. Okay, let me go. Let me see. Um, someone asked, is Dove products good for your face or not?
Um, hmm.
Let me see. I also wanted to know that because I use Dove Beauty Bar to wash my face. Is that
I'm
like a
not a big fan of using like a bar soap because
mm,
they can tend to be drying.
drying? Yeah,
I
I know
do know
that.
that a lot of dermatologists will recommend Dove soap
Mhm,
for the skin. And again, everybody's different.
mhm,
If a client comes to me and they say I've been using Dove soap all my life and it's working great, who am I to tell them to stop using it?
mhm,
Because I could put them on something I have and they could break out.
mhm,
So I mean, if you find something that works for you,
mhm,
um, I'm not going to tell you not to use it.
mhm.
So
Now,
everybody's
if your
different.
question was, I've been using Dove and it's been making my face like this, then that's a different, you know,
Right,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So let's try to process of elimination. Okay,
Mhm,
let's stop using this and see how your skin reacts, and then we'll move forward from there.
mhm. But Dove would be like, it's not harmful. Obviously, it's recommended. So
Well, as a skincare professional, I wouldn't tell
probably
my
not.
client to go
Yeah,
buy Dove soap.
yeah.
I mean, if I have clients that come see me and they don't want to buy products from me, I'm okay with that. My go-to over-the-counter product would be Neutrogena. I mean, it's name recognition. Their products are pretty good, but again, I deal with what is known as cosmeceuticals.
Mhm,
They're not pharmaceuticals.
mhm.
You don't have to get them from a pharmacy or a doctor, but they're a step above the over-the-counter, what you're going to get from a drugstore.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Um, let's see. Um, I am learning a lot, so thank you for this. I hope you guys have been enjoying and learning. I've been learning so much. I know I need to exfoliate more. I know I should probably find a esthetician near me. Unfortunately, I'll have to find someone near me to, go to every now and then. I mean, everyone's different, obviously. Once you go to the esthetician, you can they can let you know how often you need to be coming in to them, right? Or what? I
Yeah,
mean, they'll give you the cost. What do you call it? Consultation.
consultation.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that pretty much tells you everything you need to know about your skin. So then, I mean, I see a lot of questions about that. So pretty much, I mean, a lot of people have questions on this and that or products. And honestly, just like your hair, I mean, you guys know I promote natural hair, and I mean, I can give you advice about what I do for my natural hair, but every hair is different. You may have a different porosity, blah, blah, blah. Therefore, you have to learn about your face to know what works on your face, which is the purpose of consultations. So,
Mhm.
yeah, if you can't self-diagnose yourself, which I mean, obviously is not recommended, but if you are curious, I mean, I think you should definitely do the consultations, and then we can get that rolling. So, I mean, you can do it in person. You could do this video. What would it be in video? I guess. Lauren?
Virtual, yeah, video.
video form, so you guys, so she can see you personally and see and then talk to you, and you can self-diagnose whatever you need to know, and then that can start you off to whatever skin journey that you could, because that seems like it's the, I mean, makes the most sense. You could be general, but I mean, you don't really know unless you know what kind of skin you have. How do you feel about toners? Are they needed? What are the best toners?
Toners, most people, if they're going to eliminate one thing, it's going to be a toner, and for no reason other than they just can't be bothered, with that one extra step. Toners, what they actually do, they complete the cleansing process, because I don't care how good I think I cleanse my skin. Once I put a toner on, and I like to use a little round disc of cotton, and I get mine from Big Lots or nothing expensive. So once I put toner on it after I rinse my cleanser off, and I take the toner and swipe it across my face, look at it, you're still going to have some debris. So what they do, they complete the cleansing process. Also, they prepare your skin for the next step, because basically you're going to cleanse, tone, and then you're going to use your treatment product, whether it's for anti-aging, whether you're using something to exfoliate, something for dark spots. You're going to apply that, and it actually should be applied on skin that's a little moist, because it's going to absorb quicker than if you apply it on dry skin.
Okay, so is a toner recommended for everyone, or that's just an extra if you want?
I personally, and to be honest, I don't use a toner all the time. I used it when I feel like it, or sometimes. So, I mean, everybody's different. Some people may use it every day, and I have these great pads that you use as a toner step, and they have glycolic and retinol on them. And what they do, they actually will help lift some of your pigment. They exfoliate, and they're real simple. You cleanse, you take a pad out, you swipe across your face, you throw it in the trash.
That's what you gave my boyfriend, or Blake? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that makes sense. And that pretty much, again, I'm an amateur, so I have to make sure. Toners are pretty much to remove anything that your cleanser didn't remove.
Right, exactly. They complete the cleansing process. They balance your pH, and then they prepare your skin for the next step.
Gotcha. Okay, which is moisturizing, whatever.
Right, moisturizing or your treatment.
So the main things that you probably would need, just in your skincare, whatever, is a cleanser, toner, if you want to make sure you getting all the extra, especially if you use a lot of makeup too, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah.
And then your moisturizer to remove.
And then your treatment after your toner, whatever you're treating. If you're treating fine lines and wrinkles, if you're treating acne, if you're treating hyperpigmentation, your treatment product will go on after your toner. You want to put that on a clean palette, and then you apply your moisturizer after that. And basically, you would need 2 moisturizers. You need one for night that doesn't have sunblock, and you need one during the day that does have sunblock, because that's really important. And I know as darker skin African Americans, I never used sunblock until I got in this business.
Yeah, me neither.
I worked for a dermatologist, and I saw skin cancer up close and personal. And I mean, nothing's 100%, but definitely you do want to apply sunblock.
Wow, that makes
again,
a lot of sense.
If your concern is the dark spots and you're not putting sunblock on, and you're using all these other products to lighten it, you're kind of defeating the purpose, because then you're going out without your sunblock on, and the sunlight is stimulating the pigmentation. So.
Wow, I feel like you're calling shots. You're calling shots at me, like you're throwing shots. Because I'm like,
it's like when you go to church.
Wonder.
It's like when you go to church and the preacher is preaching, and you're like, oh, they talking to me today. Okay.
Exactly. Like that, it makes so much sense. Okay. All right. How long have we been on this live for? These are all really good questions. I don't even know how, does it check the time? I'm not sure. But 2:52? Oh no, we've been on at 5. So okay, so we'll do this for another 10 minutes, answer whatever questions. And then, like I said, obviously, if you guys have any further questions, or you want a consultation, or if you're interested in any products, then I will, again, I have her Instagram and Facebook, but we'll link the site and get you guys connected with her, because I'm learning so much. She's my grandmother. Like, I don't even know why I didn't know all this. Well, it's because I never asked, I guess. So Native says, I have a lot of hyperpigmentation on my cheeks from acne. Do you recommend the Ordinary product line, specifically there? Do you know about the Ordinary product line?
Is that from Target or where's Ordinary? I've seen it somewhere.
I'm not sure. Specifically, they're 2%. Is that where is that product from, Native? Oh, what is your solution for blackheads?
Blackheads, exfoliate, and I know you guys feel like I sound like a broken record, but what blackheads are, they're your dead skin cells and oils form a plug that clogs your pore.
Mm-hmm.
And because the tip of it is exposed to the air, the tip turns black. It oxidizes, like if you cut an apple and set it out, how it starts to brown from the air. Pretty much the same thing, because you have your dead skin cells, which are protein, and then you have your oil. So they're sticking up out of your pore, and the tip turns black. So once they're there, pretty much only way you're going to get them out is by getting a facial and having them manually extracted.
Gotcha.
But to help minimize them, you need to exfoliate, get those dead skin cells constantly shedding off.
Okay. I eat properly, exercise regularly, and drink lots of water. However, I still have fine bumps on my face. Any tips to get rid of those? So I'm assuming you're gonna say exfoliating.
Well, what fine bumps? Where are they? What's causing them? I mean, again, it could be
a lot.
Like you have the blackheads, which are open. They're called open comedones because they're open. That's why the tip turns black. Then you have your closed comedones, which you have a layer of skin covering them, which again is the same thing. It's oil and dead skin cells, but there's a layer of skin covering them. That's why they don't oxidize and turn black. So again, exfoliate, go get facials, where they can do extractions to clean out your pores, and that will definitely help.
Okay. Mary asks, how does a pimple heal on its own without extracting the gunk on the inside? Is popping pimples all that bad? I'm so happy you asked that, Mary Noel, because this is I'm not a professional, but tell me if I'm right. I always tell my boyfriend, and I'm a big, like, don't pop any pimples. Like, if a pimple comes, I just let it stay there, and then until I wash my face, I do whatever, and then over time, it usually goes down, and then it either pops on its own. But I feel like I used to pop my pimples a lot, and then they will leave a scarring, which would just be worse for me. And also, I know there are people who are good at pop. I mean, there's like the Dr. Pimple Popper, whatever.
Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yeah, but I feel like they do it like how you use your extraction. You use like something on your hands. Like, you have to be careful if you're gonna pop a pimple. But is that right? What's your
in time? It may or probably will go away on its own, but it'd be good to have like a spot treatment or something to help it with that. If you have a pimple and say like it's red and inflamed, if you ice your skin, that'll help take the inflammation down.
So you literally just grab ice and put it there?
What I recommend people do is get a styrofoam cup, which I know is not good for the environment, but you get a styrofoam cup, you fill it up with water, put it in the freezer. It's going to make a dome, like an icicle. And then you can just take that and, spread it on your face and, on the affected area, rub it on the affected area. And then as the ice wears down, you just take the styrofoam and tear it away from the cup. And what I tell people to do after you use it that first time on your face and you put it back in the freezer, put it in a plastic bag. You don't want to put the cup in the freezer with your food open, that's been on your face. So, and then even if you have to, you can get like an ice cube, and you might not want to put it directly on the face, but, ice the face. That'll help take down the inflammation, because a lot of what's going to cause the darkness and the hyperpigmentation is the inflammation. So basically that's the thing you want to do. And you definitely don't want to pick and pop your pimples, because whenever most people do it on themselves, they're too aggressive. When you go to a professional, we're going to prepare the skin for that. We're going to soothe skin, we're going to cleanse the skin, we're going to prep the skin for that,
Mhm.
and not just go in and attack it. And because most of the time people are doing it, they're going, I know I shouldn't be doing this, and then after they've done it and they've scarred their skin, then they go, I know I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
So
Mhm. Yeah,
yeah,
pretty
so
much. Exactly. Okay.
been there, done that.
Mm-hmm. Uh, I have a boil on my nose before, or I've had a boil on my nose before. How and why do they form boils?
Boils, to be honest with you, I'm not really sure.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times it may be caused by an infection.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you went to the doctor and they looked at the boil, or if you went to a doctor and had it diagnosed, or how did you know it was a boil?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So boils. So is that even is that normal?
It's usually pus filled,
Oh,
so there's some kind of infection in it.
okay. It's not the same as like a pimple or something.
No,
Oh, okay.
no, they're a little deeper and they're a little more aggressive.
Okay. 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 All right, let's see. Where are we? Okay, let's see. Let me go through the questions. I feel like we answered lots of good questions today. Any last questions before we end the live? I think we answered so many questions. Again, what would your final, anything, final tips, or just things you want people to take away from just skincare overall? And
Exfoliation.
I know I learned a lot. Exfoliating really helped.
And if you can't see an esthetician on a regular basis, at least do yourself a favor and go get a consultation and go see one. Most estheticians, some people will offer a complimentary consultation.
Mm-hmm.
Some may charge you a little bit, $30 or whatever, but that'll go towards your service or your product price.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, at least, you want to go and get a professional opinion and get some professional recommendations,
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense, because it's like once you get the consultation, then you will know exactly what kind of skin you have and what you need. Yeah. So then you can do whatever you need to do after, rather than trying to figure out, I don't know, and look online and do all this. I mean, you could, but it would be just for, like I said, for your hair. Once you know your hair type and what kind of hair you have, you're able to know what it needs or whatever. So,
and there's so much information out there. I mean, especially with the internet and everything, there's just too much information out there, and I know they've unfortunately made chemical peels accessible for people to get, and things can go so bad with chemical peels. I mean, being in the business as long as I've been, I have access to some very aggressive and strong chemical peels that I won't even touch or do on people, because I don't know what's going to happen and I'm not willing to risk that. So like I said, again, with darker skin, you need to be progressive. You can't, I won't do a chemical peel on someone that just walks in and say, I want a chemical peel. I've turned plenty people down that have called me or contacted me and I've never heard from them. They're not my client and they want a chemical peel. I'm not going to do a chemical peel on someone that, first of all, I don't know your skin. I don't know your skin habits. And, you need to get on prep the skin before you can do a chemical peel.
And what is chemical peels for?
Chemical peels, actually, literally, you can see layers of skin peeling off. Some there's different degrees. Some you may get some flaking, but then there are also some where you actually will see like sheets of skin. So basically what you're doing an intentional wounding of the skin. So the skin actually heals itself. So you're actually shedding off those outer layers that have been exposed to the environment. Because if all of us look at ourselves, our face is going to always be darker than the areas of our body that are covered up. So that's pretty much damaged skin that's been exposed to the environment. So, sometimes you want a clean slate. You want to remove all that, and then you have fresh new skin underneath.
Wow, that does sound like an extreme process. It seems like your skin will be really sensitive after.
And it just depends on the degree, and like I said, there's different ones that you do. So.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna answer one more question. Do you have any recommendations or recipes for at-home face mask, or do you believe in face masks, or do you?
I believe in face mask, and again, I don't do a lot of at home things because I have companies that make things for me or companies that I get things from that work wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately,
So
I really
probably,
can't cook anymore.
yeah, and that's fine. I mean, this is a perfect, yeah. So she has everything she needs, and with your clients, I know that you hear that a lot, like face. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can use. I mean, there's recipes you can Google whatever, but ultimately, my takeaway, which I'm gonna do as an amateur person, like I said, I have a healthy diet. I used to deal with a lot of pimples, but I changed my diet. But obviously, my skin, I mean, I still struggle with dry skin. I have oily face. I have, big pores, whatever. My face isn't as smooth when you get close to it. So I know after doing whatever I need to do, I just need to exfoliate more. So have a cleanser, get your toner if you're able to do that so you can remove all the extra dirt from your face, right? And then use whatever treatment that you need, and then your moisturizer. And ultimately, just if you can get a consultation, like I said, we're going to open up where you guys could be able to get a consultation from my grandmother so you can really learn about your face, what really, your skin type, whatever, what your skin really needs. And yeah, I think that'll help a lot. I'm over here talking like I'm a professional, but I'm just trying to, say as an amateur what I'm learning, if it makes sense. And also, I need to really use skincare. I mean, what do you call it? Sunscreen. Like, I don't use that. And I understand that. It's like, I always wonder why my dark spots never went away. And it's like, because I never treated it. Like, I don't use sunscreen. And that makes sense. Like, I mean, if you have dark spots and you're not using sunscreen and you go out, it's just getting darker, or, So
and once I got in this business, like I said, I never used sunscreen before. But once I got in this business and I saw, the damage that the sun can do. Again, nothing's 100%, but you do want to do some kind of protection. From that day, what was that, in 1995? Once I got in the skincare business, I've used sunscreen every day since then. And I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, most nowadays you have your moisturizer and sunscreen all in one. So it's not like you have to put on a moisturizer and then you put on a sunscreen. And then sometimes some of the problems that we have with darker skin, you put on a sunscreen and it makes your skin look ashy, or you have that cast on your skin. I have actually found sunscreens that were great for darker skin. There's even one I have that has a tint. So when I do feel like I want to wear makeup or anything, I always use my tinted sunblock, and that's what I use as my foundation. So, so there are things that can work for us. And like I said, it's not a big deal because you're going to need to moisturize anyway. So you get your moisturizer and sunblock all in one. And then again, you may need a moisturizer in the evening, and not everyone feels like they need a moisturizer in the evening. So everybody's individual, and what works for one doesn't work for the other one. So you just find what works for you.
And then lastly, I know I keep saying last, but so you definitely need to make sure that you're washing your face. I mean, this is basics, washing your face or doing your treatment every morning and every night, correct?
You definitely want to cleanse your face, especially a good cleansing in the evening, because you've been out, you've been exposed to all the environment, the elements, that are out, and we know how polluted the air is and everything else. So you definitely want to do a good cleansing at night. And especially if you're wearing makeup, you need to do a double cleanse. Your first is kind of like, and I even, those little wet cloths that you can buy, that come in a little dispenser. I mean, those are kind of okay if you want to use those to just kind of take away the surface makeup.
Wipes.
Yeah, the makeup remover wipes, those are okay if you want to use that, as your first kind of pre-cleanse. And then you want to follow that up with a good cleanser that's going to really deep cleanse your skin. And I would definitely, if you're wearing makeup, I would definitely use a toner after my cleanser, because that's going to actually take away the residue and any buildup.
Okay, well, a lot of people are saying thank you. They learned a lot from this, and I really did as well. Mary says she didn't realize how important sunscreen was until recently. Same. And as far as this sunscreen, she will. I mean, you use yours. Someone said, "What sunscreen do you use?" But you.
I have a brand that I use. I have a couple of different ones that I use, and it basically depends on the person's skin and what they're looking for. I have clients that like the tinted one because again, it gives them a little coverage, you know, without having to wear full on makeup. And then I have some that don't have the coverage. So if you need to get something over the counter, I mean, like I said, my over the counter go to name is Neutrogena because it's name recognition. It's not expensive. You know, they sell it at all the drugstores now, and nowadays I think that's probably about one of the only places we can go get something like that from is a drugstore or something. So, and you definitely, I would go with an SPF of at least 30 if you can.
Okay, SPF of at least 30.
30, at least 30.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much again for this.
Well, thank you for having me, and thanks everyone for accepting me and being open and asking questions.
Yes, of course. And like I said, I will leave her information. I mean, you can go to aestheticsbybernadette.com. That's her website. And she has an Instagram or Facebook. And then we'll get the consultation set up and everything like that. So you guys could really learn. But we learned a lot. Thank you. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you guys in my next video. So bye.
All right. Stay safe and be well, everyone.
Yes, please. Now I have to figure out how to cut this off. Wait, hold on. I think I know. Okay, bye. I think I'm closing it in. Okay, bye.
Bye.